Hi, SV friends. It's again a joy to come before you, and I want to share something that has profoundly impacted my thinking the last 1 month. So, one of our friends and classmates shared link, a video link named Degreasing the Church. Greasing is spelled as Greecing, which means the removal of Greek thinking and culture from the church. So my wife and I, we happened to watch it and we never knew how the first 45 minutes flew. It's a series by David Pawson. So I just want to give a gist of it. So Greek thinking has a great influence on our thinking and our culture today. If you see the form of government that we have, it is the democracy. It's a byproduct of Greek and Roman cultures. The love for entertainment, the love for sports, a love for good human physique, education systems, the architecture. If you look at the US Capitol buildings, the government buildings, all of these have been influenced by Greek culture, thinking, and many of the Greek way of life. So we must have heard of alpha, beta, gamma societies and phi, so many other societies in the universities in the US. All of them influenced by the Greek culture. Not everything is bad, but when it comes to the church, God intended it to be thoroughly Jewish. The Bible is thoroughly Jewish, so Jewish way of living, thinking, and what God intended it to be is totally different from the Greek way. So I would give a few gists of what the Greek culture and how it has influenced the church. For a detail, this one I would really encourage all of you to go back and listen to those two videos. So one of the things that stand out is the spiritual dichotomy. So the Greeks separated the spiritual from the secular. They consider spiritual as something much greater, and it took a lot of time and effort, and something that is really unattainable and only a few could get it. So they said they removed God from the realm of our daily interactions with other people and with the nature. And they classified him as omnipresent, omniscient, someone who is great and you need to do this and that, and your spiritual life is separate. But that is not the case. If you see the God of the Hebrews, he was equally concerned about how you treated your bodies. So that is a major, this one, thinking that is affected. Because of that, we try to give more respect to things that are done in the church. We never consider the things that are done outside the church as worship. So these teachings came about due to the teachings of Saint Augustine and Thomas Aquinas. These were people who were also discipled according to the Greek thinking. So they brought these things inside the church. Another thing is the concept of work. Greeks always thought work is a necessary evil. So they would either get the work done fast and then live for entertainment, talking about philosophies, and if possible they could even get work done by someone else. The lower rung, they always consider manual labor as the lowest form of work and something that has to do with thinking to be higher. Whereas the Hebrews always had, they respected manual labor. So Hebrews never have a holiday. They used to work 6 days and 2 days, and 1 day they had a holy day and not a holiday. Whereas the Greeks, they would get done with their work and spend it for enjoyment. And the love of sports, and they loved sports. They worship human bodies, so they were into human bodybuilding and all the other things. So if you see, fundamentally it differs a lot from the Jewish culture. So this spiritual dichotomy is one thing, and they always consider, Socrates always considered their death as something that you should embrace it. But if you see in the Bible, death is always considered an enemy. So we also have a thought, okay, death is something that we should embrace. But God talks of death in the Bible as an enemy that is to be defeated. So these are some fundamental differences. So the spiritual dichotomy, separation of spiritual and secular, which is not in the Bible, but which has infiltrated our thinking. Then the concept of work, they consider work as a necessary evil, but God gave work to man even before the fall. So that is how we consider work. Work was very necessary. Then, if you look at the love for entertainment, and if you see the Hebrew culture, the way they embraced death, it was not as a friend, but they always considered it as a foe. And if you look at the Greek culture, God was always considered someone omnipresent, omniscient, and all those things. But if you look at the Bible, we see God is not omnipresent. So that is one wrong teaching we have had. God is present where He wants to be. So there are so many things that has come about from the Greek teaching. So I would really encourage you to listen to it and have a fresh thinking from the context of the Bible.